very good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us once again. Here is the 6 p.m. news on Splash 105.5 FM. First, the news headlines. Serap calls for court in political office holders' jumbo pay. So Muslims to look out for the moon of Ramadan from Monday. On the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia executes 3 soldiers convicted on high treason. And in sport, Nigerian boxer Efe Ajagba wins again, knocks out Howard in 3rd round. Please stay tuned for details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. Thanks so much for staying with us. I am Blessing Agbeetan. Now, the news in detail. The Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called for a slash in the pay of political office holders, such as the president and governors and their deputies, as well as lawmakers. SERAP made a call today via a statement issued by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare and addressed to the chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Elias Mbam. The group asked the commission to urgently review upward the remuneration, allowances and conditions of service for Nigerian judges and to review downward the remuneration and allowances of high-ranking political office holders in order to address the persistent poor treatment of judges and to improve access of victims of corruption to justice. Serap also urged Mbam to send his review and recommendations to the National Assembly for appropriate remedial and legislative action as provided for by the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 as amended. The letter followed nationwide industrial action by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, to press home their demand for financial autonomy for the judicial arm of government and the federal government's silence on the judiciary workers' strike that has grounded courts across the country. Away from that, Governor Abdullahi Umaru Ganduje of Kano State has said focusing attention on community policing, deployment of the use of technology and enhanced provision of funding and logistics for security agencies can quickly help address the upsurge of banditry attacks in the northwest region. The Kano State Governor, who made the observation while fielding questions from newsmen at the government house in Katsina shortly after visiting Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina State to console him over the recent Katsina fire incident, argued that community policing will provide the needed grassroots flavor and support in winning the fight against banditry in the region. While commending some of his colleagues in the region who have adopted several security measures to checkmate banditry in their state, he advised those yet to do so to brace up to community policing and the introduction of the use of technology. Governor Masari thanked Ganduje and his entourage for the visit, adding that there are no major differences existing between the two states. Away from that, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State has warned against vandalizing public property, as those who are engaged in such acts will be fished out and punished. Governor Lalong stated this while inspecting a breached water pipe along Greyfield to Bukuru Road. The governor, who expressed anger over the waste of water due to the activities of persons cutting corners to tap from public water supply lines, said such action was not only selfish and criminal, but capable of denying many citizens potable water. He, however, directed the Commissioner of Water Resources and the State General Manager Water Board to immediately investigate those behind the pipe breach and ensure that they bear the cost of the repairs in addition to facing prosecution. Still In the news, 3 former Senate presidents have urged members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to work hard and unite to take over the country's mantle of leadership come 2023. Former Senate President Ayochia Ayu, David Mark, and Bukola Saraki stated this yesterday as the PDP North Central Zone Congress held at the Upper Akuk Stadium in Makurdi, Benue State capital. Jerry Ghana, who returned to the party, assured that after sojourning elsewhere, the group of party leaders would team up to ensure victory for the party at all levels in 2023.
We considered and resolved that it's better for us to gather back into the PDP, the party of purpose, the party of focus, the party of discipline, the party of grace, the party that has all the potentials to be able to move Nigeria forward.
On his part, Senator Mark said that Nigerians need to change the change, while Saraki, who is the chairman PDP Reconciliatory Committee, said it was time for the North Central to go and recover its mandate from the remaining 5 states.
PDP, change the change. All the states in North Central Zone, go and sing this song, which everybody on the street is singing now. They want to change the state, they want to change the change, and PDP is the vehicle to be used to change the change.
It is time for us to allow others to join Benue State from Plateau, Nasarawa, Niger, Kwara, Kogi, and I'm sure living here today, all of our delegates to go back and go and recover our mandate.
Still in the news, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has sent a warning to his political colleagues to beware of the promises they make to Nigerians in their campaigns ahead of the 2023 elections. The governor, who dished out this note of advice while at Bori, the headquarters of Kana local government area of the state, during a rally, noted that Nigerians have come to a time in their lives that they are way too tired of empty promises, and as such, politicians should stop making such. Governor Wike stated that by 2023, no politician would be able to manipulate election results in any part of the country.
All this bragging of using security, Nigeria is quite aware now. The consciousness of Nigeria, it will be difficult. It will be difficult now for you to use security agencies to manipulate no more SARS. The SARS not gone. Is it not gone? You think soldiers will come again after what they have seen and with the way the world is going? So it will not be mobilize people to vote, but don't allow people to be giving you promises upon promises. We have told you we will do this and we have done it. Is it not true? So all those who come and tell you lie before, they promise you're going to people, they will give them governorship. It's not true. Did that do it? Did that do it? So people must learn people who will say one thing, they will do a different thing. So I am not that kind of person. When I say I will do something, let heaven come down. I will do it. Because when heaven comes, it's better for us. Nobody will go and fast again to go to heaven.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) is partnering with the Borno State government to build a gas power plant in Maiduguri to boost power supply in the state. The move followed destruction of 3 towers of electricity power lines along Damaturu and Maiduguri Road by Boko Haram insurgent on January 25 and March 27, 2021, which plunged the state into darkness for 2.5 months. The group managing director of the NNPC, Mele Kyari, led a delegation to the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, for talks.
To join you to resolve power problem in Borno State, and particularly in Maiduguri metropolis and environs. And the easiest road to that is to deliver gas to power and ultimately to industries. And we saw the opportunity and the challenge to support Borno State because of the very obvious challenge we have with our power supply situation today in the city. We and our partners on the value chain have talked to each other, and we think it is very possible to establish a dedicated power plant in Maiduguri which will serve the current needs and potentially supply power to other neighboring cities and even countries ultimately.
Governor Zulum welcomes the partnership which he believes will ease the agony of the people of the state who have suffered untold hardship since the power crisis began 3 months ago.
This event can change the entire narrative of our own state. Power is very essential. With power, we can reduce the magnitude of the insurgency because millions of people are earning their means of livelihood because of power. We have no any other alternative than to source for other solutions rather than the grid lines, because it's very difficult to guard all the faults. It's very difficult.
Moving on, the Mieti Alakatu Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, has said the 400 grazing reserves in the north is sufficient to accommodate all herders in the country. The association was speaking against the backdrop of the crisis facing the herders in the country. National Secretary of the association, Baba Usman Ngelzama, while briefing the leadership of the Arewa Consultative Forum at their headquarters in Kaduna State, asked the forum to put pressure on the federal and state government to put into use the abandoned grazing reserves in the country, especially in the north. According to him, there are presently 400 grazing reserves in the north, and there are others in the south, including Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos states.
We have a land ready in our hand for the settlement of the facility. We have over 400 grazing reserves in the northern part of the country, in the 19 states of the northern part of the country, with only 3 in the southwestern part of states of Oyo and Ogun. Apart from those 3, only over 400 grazing reserves we have allocated in the northern part of the country. All put together covers an area of about 5 million hectares. If these things can be utilized, it's enough to settle this landless people there. Only landless society we have in Nigeria.
Receiving the report, Chairman of ACF, Chief Auduogbe, said members of the forum will look into the presentation with a view to taking a position. In a communique issued and read by the National Publicity Secretary of the forum, Emmanuel Yahweh, the forum condemned the activities of insurgents, kidnappers and bandits in the north, saying that the activities are killing the peace and progress for which the north was noted when the founders of the region were in power.
The forum is completely against payment of ransom. You go and hold a citizen and lock him up or carry him to a forest where he's helpless, and you put a price tag on his name that they must bring this money within a short time before he's released. It's not. We don't agree with such tactics. No religion, even in the whole of the north, whether Islam or Christianity or African religion, accepts this kind of thing. It's against the laws of God.
Away from that, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, said it had sensitized 50 women and men on the menace of human trafficking in Kano State. The Director General of NAPTIP, Mrs. Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, disclosed this in Kano at a program tapped tagged NAPTIP, ensuring a human trafficking-free nation. The Director General, who was represented by Mr. Efe Ekrika, the Director of Administration in the agency, said the sensitization on the dangers of human trafficking, child abuse and child labor became necessary, especially in Kano. Suleiman Ibrahim restated the agency's commitment to the sensitization and advocacy in order to curb the menace of human trafficking. Mr. Abdullahi Babali, NAPTIP Kano Zonal Commander, said the sensitization program was a clarion call for stakeholders to collaborate to stop the menace of human trafficking. According to him, the program will enlighten participants on the reality and risk of giving their words out for trafficking. He advised the public against giving out their children and words to traffickers who lured them with promises of better life for the children. The Sultan of Sokoto Alhaji Saad Abubakar III has directed the Muslim Ummah to look out for the moon of Ramadan from Monday, April the 12th, 2021. Abubakar gave the directive today in a statement issued by Professor Sambo Junaidu, Chairman, Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council in Sokoto. The Sultan prayed Allah to assist Muslims in the discharge of their religious duty. This is still the 6 p.m. news on Splash 105.5 FM. Still to come in the news, Saudi Arabia executes 3 soldiers convicted on high treason. Nigerian boxer Efe Ajagba wins again, knocks out Howard in 3rd round. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
Need to see the best performance?
Thank you.
In person?
With almost 100,000 Instagram followers and over 100,000 followers on Twitter. Wow! And more than 250,000 followers on Facebook. Our followers are our greatest assets. Join our social media family for breaking news, daily information, and giveaways. On Instagram and Twitter at Splash FM 1055. On Facebook at www.facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still listening to the 6 p.m. news on Splash 105.5 FM. Turning to the foreign scene, Saudi Arabian authorities said they have executed 3 soldiers after they were convicted of charges of high treason. The Defense Ministry named the 3 in a statement and said they were found guilty of collaborating with an unspecified enemy of the monarchy and harming its military interest. According to the ministry, the convicts were executed in Saudi Arabia's military command of the southern region near the border of Yemen after their convictions had been approved by the king. Saudi Arabia is leading a military campaign in Yemen against Iran-aligned Houthi rebels who have stepped up their attacks against the neighboring oil-wealthy kingdom in recent months. Away from that, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis has ordered a speedy investigation after a veteran crime journalist was shot dead on Friday. Georgios Karaivas was shot at least 6 times with a silenced weapon by 2 men on a mob outside his home in Athens. Witnesses said Karaivas, who worked for private broadcasters Star TV and news blog Bloko.gr, was fired upon as he got out of his car after work outside his house in the southern Athens district of Alimos. Media freedom organizations said it must be established whether Karaivas was killed for his work, which covered organized crime and corruption. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has also urged justice for the despicable, cowardly murder. The last killing of a journalist in the EU to have caused such outrage was that of Jan Kuciak in Slovakia 3 years ago. Finally, in the world of sport, Nigerian boxer Ife Ajagba has continued his rise in the heavyweight division with a third-round knockout of American Brian Howard at the Osage Casino in Tulsa today. The win takes Ajagba's record to 15, 12 knockout, 1 disqualification, and 3 fights, which went the distance. The pugilist shook off the drab performance he put up in his unanimous decision win over Jonathan Rice last September to claim a deserved victory. The Nigerian dominated the fight from the sound of the bell and was no match for the 40-year-old veteran who failed to halt his advances before he dropped to the canvas in the third round. And that ends the 6 p.m. news on Splash 105.5 FM. Just before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Serap has called for court in political office holders' jumbo pay. Sultan of Sokoto has urged Muslims to look out Ramadan from Monday. On the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia has executed 3 soldiers convicted on high treason. And in sport, we told you that Nigerian boxer Ife Ajagba has won again, knocking out Howard in third round. For more details on the news, please visit our website on www.splashfm1055.com. Now you can download Splash FM mobile app on iOS, BlackBerry World, and Google Play Store to listen live, get news, update, opinion poll, and you can also report an event live to us through the iReport feature. To download, simply go to one of the stores mentioned and search for Splash FM 105.5, then click to download. We have now come to the end of the news on Splash 105.5 FM, the integrity station and the best radio station in the southwest of the country. The news editor is Tunde Olawowo, assisted by Chinwe Churchill. I am Blessing Agbeetan. Good evening and many thanks for listening.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.